Hi, it's Jeff again. We're here in the middle of winter making French milled soap out of soap we've made with the hot process method out of some of our beeswaxes and oils. And what we're doing is making French milled soap, which is basically taking some of our scraps and some of our bars that were a little unusual looking. Here are some scraps of soap. Here's some bars that are a little too big, and we're grating them like cheese on a cheese grater until we get nice soap shavings that we're mixing together. These are several different batches of soap. So we're going to mix these together in a bowl that is microwave safe, because what we will do then is move this into the microwave and have these soap chips melt down, after which we can mold them. And what I'm using for a mold is a piece of 2.5 inch PVC. Is it 2.5 inch or 2 inch? No, I beg your pardon, this is 2 inch PVC. And I'm going to cut this into sections, and we'll use this as a form, and then we'll have long billets of soap that after we cool we can cut into round hand soaps. So again, just grating this up, a little labor intensive, but it's a great way to reuse all of your scrap pieces. And it also makes a really excellent soap. It also allows you to mix some of your different batches. If you have a batch that's a little harder and a batch that's a little softer, it's a way of mixing this together. Am I bleeding? Wow. Yeah. Ugh. So we've grated a bunch of soap. I can't even tell you how much this is, but it looks like more than it is because it's all grated and fluffy in here. When it does melt down, it'll melt down into a more dimensionally smaller mass. We're going to add about 1/4 cup of water. That will help the soap melt and come together a little more smoothly. And then I'm going to cover it with saran wrap to help hold in the heat and the steam. And you may have seen people do this over a double boiler, and that's a fine method too. I just find the microwave works well for us. It's a little faster, and you get a product that's substantially the same. Make sure you seal that up well. And we're going to pop this in the microwave until it's melted, but we're going to do it in stages. So right now, I'm going to put it in here for about 5 minutes. Stop. So we've put the soap in for about 5 minutes, and you can see it's starting to melt here. I don't want to jiggle this too much, but it's getting a lot softer. I want it to be in a more liquefied state before I start fiddling with it. So I'm going to put it back in again for another 5 minutes. So the soap has been in there for about 2 bursts at 5 minutes each, and you can see it's sort of gotten sort of foamy and soft. And so now this is sort of the consistency it was when we did the hot process piece. And now I'm using a spatula to bring it all together, stir it, mix up the pieces, and get it ready to put in the molds. See if I have better. See if this works a little better. It does. It's really tough to clean the tines out, but oops. Now the soap is ready to be molded. Actually, one more step, forgot. So I purchased some pure lavender oil from, this is from Whole Foods, and I think it cost me about $20 for 2 ounces. I'm going to start by putting 5 drops in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we'll mix that in and see how. Ooh, it smells delicious. Can you smell it, Maddie?
No.
I think 5 should be enough.
I don't smell it.
So I've taken our 2-inch PVC and cut it down into various lengths, and this will act as our mold for our soap. And I've got this medium-sized piece. I'm sitting on a piece of foil, and I will fill it. And it's actually easier to fill from both sides. The idea is to pack it in. This is part chemistry, part cooking. So I just want to make sure I've got the soap all the way in here and there's no air pockets. And pack the top. You can go a little bit over because we'll probably end up cutting the ends off. But you can see how that looks on both ends. And we'll fill another one. If we have any excess soap from here, we'll just save it, let it harden up, and we'll use it for another set of French mill soap in the future. So these will take a couple of hours to cool, and they'll be soft when they come out of the molds. And we should just be able to push them very, very easily out of the molds, and then we'll cut them while they're still soft into the appropriate sized hand soaps, which we will then let cure for several weeks to let the water evaporate out of them. You can see I'm using the smallest one now. Didn't fill it quite to the top. We'll have some spare, but at least jam some of this stuff in here. And what this soap's the soap is going to come out looking kind of rustic. It's going to have little pieces of the different soaps that we had in here, sort of in suspension. But it will smell great. It already smells great. It smells like lavender. You can tell this end we're not going to use, but the other end will be smooth once we compress it down. In fact, let me just take a paper towel and we'll use that as a plunger to get it all compacted in there. So that's it for molding. And then the nice thing about all of this is all you've done is make soap, so the cleanup is very easy. Do not put this straight into the dishwasher because it will foam up. You want to put this in, wash it in the sink first, but it's very simple cleanup, and we'll just wait for these to cool, and then we'll come back and show you how to cut them down. Okay, it's the second day after we started our French milling soap process. We let these cool. You can see that I pulled a blank out of one of these PVC 2-inch tubes, and it's hardened now. You can also see what happens if you don't compress the soap inside the tube. You get these big voids. And so this soap is, we're not going to be able to make hand soaps out of this, but what we can do is remill this, and it'll be fine in the next shot. So what I've done is I've got another set of soap in here. I'm going to push it out through, and if for some reason it doesn't come out, we can pop it in the microwave for a few seconds. And that should hopefully loosen it up. And it comes out as a nice blank. This was our leftover soap, so we don't have a lot there. Now, one of the tricks you can use to cut your soap is I actually use the PVC tube as a guide for my knife to get nice straight cuts. I'm going to cut off the end here to get a nice straight cut. Set it off the side, and I like to make my soaps about ½ an inch thick. So I pull it out about ½ an inch, use the pipe as a guide. You can see the soap is still very soft. And you get these nice French mill soaps out of it. You see there's some variation in the color. That's from the different types of soap that are in there that were part of the milling process. I think it gives it a nice rustic look. And what you're going to want to do is let this soap sit and dry out for a couple more weeks before you use it. You could use it right now, but it would melt pretty quickly in the bathtub or at the sink. But if you let it dry out a little more, it'll be a little more hardy. And let's see how they smell. Yeah, the lavender that we put in there did a good job. So that's my process of how to do French milled soaps. It's a great way to reuse your leftover soaps from either hot process or cold process, and it makes a perfectly terrific piece. Now, you show Will's got one of our T-shirts on that you can get at our website. Go to our website and our blog to find out how to get one of those. And he's holding up one of our European car magnets for those of you who want to show off your bee love while you're driving. Thanks for watching DC Honeybees TV, and thank you for supporting our mission to get more bees on more rooftops in Washington, D.C.